right. Hey, everybody. Carrie here. I am super excited to introduce you to Tracy MacGiffert, Mrs. MacGiffert. Tracy is a pre-K teacher in upstate New York, and she's been doing some very simple but effective things to engage her parent population. Now, remember, she's teaching 4-year-olds. So these parents have to be pretty engaged and pretty on. So I am excited to kind of just share with you, introduce you to Tracy, and that she's going to be able to share with you what she's been doing. So I feel like my sound is off a little. Can you hear me okay, Trace?
Yeah, I can hear
Okay. All right. So Trace, talk about what are you doing to engage your parents, and why did you choose the formats that you did?
Okay, so when we received the notice on March 16th that was our last day of in-class contact with kids and parents, I kind of surveyed the parents to see what platforms of communication they're using, Facebook, email, or other social media platforms. And Facebook, out of the 25 families, 22 were already engaged with Facebook. So I just made a decision to create a private Facebook group with them. And since I did that, the additional 3 families that weren't initially on Facebook have joined to be part of it.
Okay, good. So talk about why. So not only were they already on Facebook, but it's not the most traditional way that teachers are engaging with parents, right? That's not everybody's doing that. And when I surveyed our group, you were one of the only ones. So Google Classroom and some of those other Seesaw, and is kind of a little bit more of the norm accepted on the teacher community. Why did you not choose to do those?
I just felt like with as many people that were already using Facebook as a platform, it was the quickest, easiest way to establish a platform so that we stay connected and continue and establish some sense of normalcy.
Yeah, and they already knew it, right? There's no learning curve when it comes to that kind of stuff. Okay.
Google Classroom population at that point would have been an entirely new platform to roll out. And I was just trying to make a smooth, successful, continued communication platform for them.
Yeah, that makes sense. So let's talk about how it's working. So how do you have it set up? What are you communicating with them? What's your engagement? How's it working?
Definitely, I describe it as a work in progress always, as is every aspect of my teaching career. But I opened up a page and said, welcome to, I actually titled it Pre-K, Miss MacGiffert's Pre-K, A Whole New Way. And I established it as our attempt at trying to bring my face, my voice, and some of our classroom activities to the kids on a regular basis through videos to establish that level of routine. But I also use it for making lots of quick communication announcements. So I record a daily lesson that lasts from 20 to 30 minutes each day. And each of the days of the week, there's something which is similar to what I did in the classroom, something that the kids know to expect from that day. So Monday, I model writing. So we call it Monday Message, and the kids see a message that I write to them and I read it to them. And it's usually rolling out the topic that we would be studying for the week. Tuesday, I call it True Fact Tuesday. And that is where I have a large chart that the kids will look at, and we explore nonfiction, and I go through a page or 2 of questions we're going to try to find out, and I kind of just prompt them to think about it, and it really engages them with nonfiction. And I had a lot of success with that in the classroom. So again, continuing that. And it's funny, adults have actually very much enjoyed it too, because they keep telling they're learning new information that they didn't otherwise know.
Oh, that's so funny. But are you posting these in the group, these videos?
I post the videos every day in the group.
Okay.
But I also, just in case Facebook wasn't going to be, I wasn't sure where data and internet connection was going to be for people. And I'm still working on organizing the way that page is looking. I did also open up a private YouTube channel. And I also load my videos on YouTube. And I can email YouTube links of those videos as well. But every day, the parents can expect to open up our Facebook page. They'll see a picture that I've taken of the read aloud that I'll do in the lesson, and then they'll see my video. And what's been very helpful in the feedback I've gotten from the parents is they don't have to log on at a specific time every day. I have a lot of parents that are essential workers and reporting to a job every day. Parents with several different ages of kids at home. So the Facebook page has allowed that flexibility of it's there and they can go to it when they want to.
Okay.
So Monday is Monday message. I do modeled writing. Tuesday is True Fact Tuesday. Wednesday is Wacky Wednesday Science. I do a science-based lesson.
Okay.
Thursday, I call it Think About It Thursday, and I give them a question a day or two in advance. And again, I post it in like a flyer style, and it's always a yes/no question. And it just prompts them to think about something, and it's usually always connected to the story that I'm going to read on Thursday, or it's related to that nonfiction topic that we were exploring. Like, for example, today would be if we were going to be doing Think About It Thursday today, the latest Think About It Thursday questions are, I'm teaching the letter B. I use the Handwriting Without Tears program to do that. So we're exploring Goldilocks and the Three Bears stories. And they have to think about whether or not Goldilocks would be angry if the bears went to her house and made a big mess like she did in their house. Mm-hmm. And it's really to the story Beware of the Bears. And at the end of the story, they find out that they didn't find Goldilocks' house. They actually went into the Big Bad Wolf's house. But it's funny because I put that question in like a very easy to see flyer with a yes, no. And then the parents all comment and give me the child's answers. Yes, I think she's going to be angry. No, I don't. And then the kids have very elaborate explanations for why. And then the other question going with this week would be, do you think at the end Goldilocks and Baby Bear can actually be friends? And that's going to connect to a version of Goldilocks and the Three Bears called Rolling Along with Goldilocks and the Three Bears, where Baby Bear is in a wheelchair and he goes to physical therapy, where typically they go out and take a walk to let their porridge cool. Well, he goes out to physical therapy. And when they come back, they find her in the house. But then instead of her running away and they never see her again, she starts asking questions about his wheelchair and what physical therapy is and his transfer board. So just questions.
Yeah. So then what do you do on Friday?
Friday is Connect with Friends Friday. So I do my regular every day. My lesson includes the Pledge of Allegiance, our Scholar Pledge, our calendar, which you see right behind me, which is in my living room right now, one of my family rooms. And then I always do a read aloud. And Friday is the day that we always have a Google Meet Connect with Friends day. So my morning class meets at one time and my afternoon meets me at a different time. And we all get together. And based on what we did all week, I tell them to bring something, like this week would be bring something that starts with the letter B. Bring a version of Goldilocks and the Three Bears if you have it. And then I tell them to bring something, some piece of the material that I've set up distribution times with parents where I've given them packets and Scholastic magazines and different materials. So we'll read a Scholastic magazine together. Well, they'll have it in their hand and we'll do that. So
okay. So you're doing a live kind of thing once a week, live meetup on Google Meet.
Yeah. I'm starting to increase that. So it was always once a week. Some of the kids are looking for some more context. So this week I've actually increased my sessions of Google Meet times.
Okay. So what I'm hearing is, especially as pre-K, you're using the Facebook portal as really where your lessons are and your announcements for parents. I can see as teachers using if teachers are using, like my kids' teachers using Google Classroom, right? So I could see, continuing to do Google Classroom and Facebook group being for parents on announcements. Like, I have no idea what's going on. And I would love a group that's just sort of keeping me up to date. This is what they're going to be studying this week. This is, this is how you can support if you have time. Even like a video from the teacher with a little bit of an explanation. So you're doing both announcements and teaching through the group. I could see teachers doing just announcements to keep up parental communication and then still teaching through their whatever platform they're already teaching in.
Right, where even using the Facebook page to say, just everybody, just so everybody knows, this is the new topic that was just
Right.
posted into, because my own three teenagers are all very independently using Google Classrooms. They know all of their assignments, but it's helpful if I were to see that pop up, assignments.
That would be, and I think in like middle school, they could do it by teams, a team Facebook group. So one other piece about the Facebook group, and we have this in Classroom Crusaders, is the units option. So everything can get lost in a Facebook group really, really, in a Facebook feed really easily. And so if people set up their groups to be a social learning group, then you get the option of placing those things into units to keep it really organized for people. Are you doing that?
That's my next step, because this has kind of grown. I was just saying this, I'm up to 40 days of online teaching. So I have 40 days of recorded lessons, and I don't know how we got to that number so quickly. So I'm definitely to the point where I want to have those units, because there really is a very predictable pattern of posting, whether it be Wacky Wednesday science lessons, True Fact Tuesday lessons. And I also share a lot of things. There's so many resources on Facebook, and bits of information about what to expect in development, sometimes just inspirational messages about, these parents who are feeling so overwhelmed with they're not doing enough with their kids. And I just give reminders that, hey, we are all in this together, and it's okay that you're in survival mode, because that's really where we all are.
I love that. I think that's a huge parental support coming straight from their classroom teacher. So I think, especially in elementary school, where parents are doing so much with kids, like we both have high schoolers, so like they're a little bit more independent, but these parents that are really working with these elementary kids, I think that community is really, really important. I don't talk to any of these other parents, right? This is a way that they could all stay together as a community, I think, too. So I think it's a powerful tool.
The parents themselves have now become very comfortable posting videos of the kids doing work. When I give the kids assignments, if I do writer's workshop with them, or I'll do directive drawing activities with them that are often connected to my read alouds, the parents will always post the pictures of the kids' work, because I do directive drawing, and I call it mystery picture drawing. And they have their paper, they follow step by step, and at the end they have a dinosaur or they have a cat. So the parents post pictures, or they post pictures. This week at the elementary school was virtual school spirit week, so they were posting pictures of their pajama day, which feels like every day.
Yes.
So they're interacting and sharing, and then you see them communicating with each other.
So it's building that community in and of itself. We can't even do that easily, even in schools, right? Because, they're outside of the building. But this allows them a way to kind of meet and to be part of it, even if that's like your whole goal with it, just building community and communication with parents. So that's awesome. So if you could do one thing different with your group, if somebody's going to start a group, do you have any advice on what they can do to start it as successful as possible?
The only thing I would do differently is start with organizing those units from the beginning, because now I'm doing a little backtracking, but it was thrown into it and we just hit the ground running. So I would say start with organizing it so that anyone joining in can easily access what they've missed.
That's awesome. All right, Tracy. So Tracy's part of our group. So if you have questions for her, I'm sure you could just post it in the group and ask her. If you have questions about how to set up a Facebook group, you can message me or Tracy, because I have a bunch of groups, and Tracy's just this Maven now group developer, so she can help us too. Tracy, thank you. I know you have another class to get to, so I appreciate you. I'll talk to you later.